Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to another live conversation. All right. So, in this conversation, we're going to talk about the by-election right there in Northeast Saint Anne. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Voices in Education. If you're returning, welcome back, welcome back. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way. So we do not bash anyone, we do not belittle anyone, we don't disrespect over here, all right? So welcome one, welcome all. And I just want to say welcome, Uriel. I hope you're still here in the chat. Max Morgan is here. And right off the bat, Uriel is sharing that the by-election was a waste of money. All right, so for sure, would love to hear your views. And in a bit, I am going to open the phone line to take some calls. All right, so remember to hit the like button, to hit the subscription button, and the share button. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education. And guys, let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear in the chat there. I'm just waiting for that confirmation. So just let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear in the chat. So again, I am just waiting for that confirmation in the chat. Again, welcome, welcome. All right, let me just test this for myself. I just want to make sure the volume is good. Okay, I think we're doing fantastic there. All right, so based on the results so far, and I'm going to say so far because I'm still checking and I'm going to show you what we have. All right, but based on the preliminary count of the ballot boxes so far, all right, the Jamaica Labour Party's Matthew Samuda, so the JLP's Matthew Samuda was victorious in the Northeast St. Anne by-election. All right, so just to let you know, and we're going to show you the results that we have. All right, so for this election, all right, we had David Anderson. All right, she's Neil, and all right, so far, based on the vote, to show you what we have on screen, and then we'll look at what is there as well in the media. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. And perhaps I'm just trying to give me a second here, guys. All right, so I am just trying to just get some information here. But again, it has been declared that Matthew Samuda is the winner based on the preliminary results. All right. All right, Matthew Morgan, thanks for letting me know. So I'm just going to share with you the results that I see here from the EOJ so that you can see, what we have so far in that context. And I have it here on the last page here, just so that you can see what is happening here. All right, so if you can see, I'm just going to scroll up, but they have several, all right, and then they have a tally so far at the end. All right. So here we have the JLP candidate, the UIC, and the independent, I guess, here. And it goes all the way down here with a total. So far, it's 2,072, all right, for Matthew Samuda, 18 for the UIC, and 99 for the independent, all right, candidate. And here, the total votes so far, 2,869. And the total amount in terms of the population there in Northeast St. Anne who can vote is almost 44,000. All right, so then. So just for you to get an understanding here of some of the figures that we are working with. All right, so again, it has been declared that the winner here is Matthew Samuda. All right, and this starts with a very early count. Again, results are coming in. So, an article here from the Jamaica Observer, the preliminary count of ballot boxes has shown that the Jamaica Labour Party's Samuel claimed 4,838 votes, beating David Anderson, who got 222 votes, and Neil of Independent Congress, who received 30 votes. All right, so just to let you know, by way of update, that these
All right, guys, I realized that I got disconnected.
I got disconnected. Just before I connected, I was sharing right, the figures that I have shown you here. All right, it's increasing. All right, these figures. So just to go back to the article here from the Jamaica Observer, they are now reporting that Samuda claimed 4,838 votes. All right. And the independent candidate David Anderson got 222 votes, and Chase Neal, all right, of the United Independence Congress received 30 votes. So I'm just going to put this in here on screen so that we can have an understanding that means. So just give me a little second here to just put this information on screen for you. And I suspect that the numbers here will change. All right, it's the prelim count. All right, so just for you to have that understanding, all right, that the numbers again change as more information is provided. I needed to put the David is the independent candidate here. Yes, I could put I David got just 222 votes, and Samuda here, Jill. All right, then next we have Neil and Chase is and just 30 votes so far. Just looking for a little space here for my box, guys. All right, work. All right, so just some information there for you so far. All right, so I just want to let you know that. So this Northeastern seat, I guess, came into question in the context of a by-election when Marsha Smith, all right, resigned, and there were, I guess, issues or challenges in that seat from the JLP's perspective. And accordingly, we were informed that by the Prime Minister that there is going to be a by-election today, which happened. All right. After that by-election was announced, the PNP, they declared that they're not going to contest this particular by-election or any other by-election. They're pretty much preparing for the general election. All right, so just to let you know that as well. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the phone line. And guys, please, I do not want to disconnect anyone. All right, so we're not going to attack anyone. We can express ourselves in a respectful way without disrespecting anyone or without making claims that are not factual. All right, because we have to understand our responsibilities, the context of defamation. So we want to just keep it real and respectful. So I am going to open the phone line just to get your views as it relates to the election in general. So far, I have Uriel there in the chat who shared that this election was just a waste of money. So you can share in the chat as well. And if you believe that whatever you're going to say is going to perhaps be a little bit overboard, you can share in the chat. All right, and I'll see how best I and relate that information. All right, so happy to have you here. Please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. We are here to share information and so in a non-partisan way. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. All right, Matt Morgan, thank you so much for hitting that like button. And I'm just going to set up the device here just to get your call. So just give me a second here, guys. And let us see what happens. All right, I'm just making some connections here. And absolutely, I'm going to share the WhatsApp number with you so that you can give me a call. All right, so we're connected there. All right, so I'm just going to put the WhatsApp number on screen here, and I'll also pin it in the chat. All right, so I'll just put it here. And for those of you who are always here, it's the same number, all right? So that's definitely All right, it's the same number. I am going to pin that in the chat for you. So hoping to you guys as we get this conversation going. So I don't know if my co-host is going to give me a call just to share, his perspective. But that would be fantastic. All right, the number is also in the chat. Uh-oh. Well, no more. Mistakenly removed. All right, let's just try this again. All right, there we go. And it is pinned in the chat there. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. We're ready to take some calls and absolutely about the election results. As you can see here, this is information from the Observer, right? The last time that I on the EOJ's website and refreshed this, the total here for Samuda was 2,000, and then we had 18 for the US and 99 independent candidate David. Or we're seeing Samuda according to the Observer, all right, with 4,838 votes. David Anderson, 222 votes, so that's the independent candidate, and Chase Neal of the UIC, votes. And if you here, let me just get my point is just to show you what is that. Here's my spotlight now. If you look here, count in terms of based on the list or the constituency is almost 44, 327. All right, so views on the results so far. And Carlisle, welcome, welcome. I'm just trying to see your comments here, but all right, let me just see. Right, in terms of so much money that was invested with under 5,000 so far, I
Right, so just if my match here, and guys, one of the system just keeps disconnecting.
disconnected. We're back, I believe. So yeah, with just over 5,000 votes, a big question is, this, worth it. So with Matthew Samuda coming in at this time, there must be something that the government they're planning to do. My guess is, and this is just my assumption, because Nigel Clark, right? Matthew Samuda, he was in the Senate, all right? He was in the Senate, albeit the fact that he was also, I believe, working in the office. It seems to me that there is a reason, I'll say like a political move, because Nigel takes up his position or profit in a little bit, or if he has not yet taken that up, I don't remember the date. But I suspect what the Prime Minister is going to do is to carry someone into the Senate to perhaps become the finance minister. So by virtue of doing that, he would now need to move someone from the upper house, the Senate, to the lower house, which is the House of Representatives. So hence this particular by-election was necessary. And I suspect that they went for a pretty safe option too, to ensure that their plan can be realized. Again, that's just an assumption that I believe that is why this by-election came at this time. Because I agree, like it is expensive to do that, given that an election, right, is constitutionally due by in a few months, next year in a few months. So my take on this one, guys, again, an assumption, is because Nigel is moving, right? Moving away from the position and the role, right? So because I believe the Prime Minister knows that people still recovering from burial, like lots going on. He knows that in order and politics, and not politics from a JLP, PNP perspective now, members who sit in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, you'll get an understanding of what I am saying here. So for me, it wasn't for JLP to go out there and prove a point to say that they have, strength, because I suspect based on the polls that have been, coming to the fore so far, the JLP is suffering some decline in terms of popularity and in terms of how their perception, how the country is perceiving them as a party. So what I gather from this one, guys, is due to the fact that Nigel is leaving to take up that new position, right? Remember, perhaps there's no one right now in the parliament who is capable, given the big shoes that they'll have to fill, given what Nigel Carr has done, right? So, in order to make room for this new finance minister to come in, they had to move someone from the Senate. So either they did it that way in terms of what is happening now, moving. So Matthew Samuda is going to be removed from the Senate. And then I suspect that is where the new finance minister is going to come in. And again, that's just an assumption. I don't work for any peas. I just like to share information with you guys and just for you to share information with us too, so we can learn from each other. So welcome one, welcome all. And Earl, welcome. And Earl is saying exactly. That's what I think too. That makes sense. All right. So that's guys. Come on, guys. We have over and the likes are not yet up there. So just close the chat like button, hit the share button, hit the subscription button. Watch the only one there doing everything. So hit cook and button and it comes. It doesn't appear to be that way. So I do understand the perspective or the view. Why spend so much money on this event? Because it's not worth it, because the journey is just a few months away. But I think I'll move in the context of Nigeria from the ministry. So this is a seat perhaps to say, okay, we don't need to invest, we're gonna lose. It's a safe seat. And given the issues I suspect with Marsha and that particular constituency, I guess they felt that this was the one. Because based on my understanding and what is out there in the media, Marsha Smith for this particular seat in the upcoming election. So given that I suspect they say, hey, you know what? Nigel is going to run in the seat anymore. We have decided that you're not going to run in the seat. And it is, let us do, this is the plan in terms of moving forward. Bam, we heard about Marsha's resignation. Then bam, I believe perhaps the following day, the prime is going to be a by-election today. So that for me is well calculated. No, Carla,
All right, I
can
guess
you
I'm just sitting there.
share so it could be all right? I guess I'm just sitting there. Or we're back. I guess we're back. Oh, Carla, that is important. It could be that some shift is going to go. I don't know. So if you could more, Carla, I would love to learn from you in that regard too. All right, so we'll definitely see. But I suspect it has to do something with the new person is going to come in as the finance, you know, the finance minister. Some shifting is going to happen. I suspect again that Matthew Samuda is going to be. So we'd love to hear some more from you, Carlisle. All right, happy again to have you guys here as we talk about, some updates there in Northeast Saint Anne, and again mentioned shared in the context of the preliminary. Matthew Samuda is the winner of the by-election. So confirming here too from the Jamaica Gleaner. Let's just take this call, guys.
Hello, caller, you're live.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
And so I love the way you analyze the seat in terms of, the JLP and why they wanted to ensure that someone was in that safe speak in that safe space. So on the other hand, for the TNP not contesting that seat, it could be, reason that they know that they would not be able to win that seat, so they did not invest any money in preparing a candidate for that seat. So I wonder if that would be the way they reason that one. What
Hey,
are your views?
I guess so, and that is smart, I would say, because if you know that you're going a general election is going to be just in a few months, it's constitutionally due, then you can save your energy for that, all the resources for that, as opposed to just going there, unless they wanted to measure where they are in the context of this seat and to see what work needs to be done, especially if they believe it would be a closely contested one. So that would perhaps be like a strategy for doing that runoff now in that sense. But some people, they tend to look at it in another way to say, okay, you're not giving the people an opportunity in terms of, voting for you, in terms of, when you think about democratic principles in that regard. But for me, I would say theirs is a calculated move, unless they're going to want to, like, as I said, test to see how close they are in this seat. So that too is suggesting to me that they perhaps believe, even with the general election, that they're not going to win this particular seat. Because if it is that they believe that they were very close, and this is a seat that has been long dominated by the Jamaica Labour Party, so this is the same seat that Shaini Robinson held, right, before her passing. And so I believe here it's a context where perhaps they're thinking that this seat is not going to be one that they should invest a lot into, because I suspect here, in terms of looking at the politics of it, if the PMP felt that it was close or it's going to be close, they would want to test the waters now to kind of figure out how they should proceed in the context of the upcoming general elections.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I guess you can reason it on both sides, saving the resources for the general election, considering that it's so close to it. But, if they had contested that seat, then they would have that information to know how much, how aggressively they could go at, in the voters vote so that they could claim that seat. Because the only way that they'll win the election is if they are going to win some of the seats that are currently held by the JLP. So it's really interesting to see the strategies that the political parties are using as we head toward that election.
Yeah, and the other part, I wonder if it slipped me, Lord. There's another point to it. Okay, yeah. Usually in the context of by-elections, you don't get a lot of persons out going to vote. Even look at the last local government election, voter turnout was low because I guess some persons, they don't take that as a serious election. They're more into the general election, the big election. And even with the general elections, voter turnout is still a bit low when you think about the number of persons who are able to vote. And so that in itself is another thing. The by-election, I wasn't expecting to get a big turnout.
Yes, I agree with you on that part. Not a lot of interest being shown in the violence and local government election. So, that's another reason why maybe they decided not to contest that. So I agree with you.
Fantastic. And anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, that's it for now.
All right, feel
Just
free.
want to encourage the people who are here with us to like and subscribe and to share so that we can have their views on what is happening in the political sphere in Jamaica.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. And don't be afraid to call us back if you have more to share. All right. Thank you so much there. All right, guys. And this is what we're talking about. Give us a call. All right. We'd love to hear from you.
Don't be afraid to call us, all right? Would love to hear from you. Again, welcome, Mark. Welcome. I can see you in the chat there. All right. And I may have wasted money, so we got that too earlier in the context of all right. And so what we're saying, at what point you join, that it's be a calculated political move, and that's just an assumption. Just a view, free to share your views. And this is why this program is called Voice. As long as you're being respectful and you're not bashing or disrespecting anybody, you're not defaming anybody, we're fine. All right. We don't care if you're a supporter of the PNP or the JLP or no P. We say Jamaica, land we love, and that's totally okay. We learn from each other in this space. So happy to have you guys here. So again, Matthew Samuda has been declared the winner of this by-election Saint Anne based on the preliminary count. All right, so they would say the independent, I guess, PNP activists there are supported. And I guess it back in from the PNP. It doesn't have to be him as an independent candidate just to see what it's not showing up in the number here that we're seeing. 222 not showing up in that number at all. So guys, the WhatsApp number is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat and it's also on the screen there. Please feel free to give us a call. Would love to hear from you. All right, what are your views on the election results? Would love to hear from you in that context. All right, so far we have been told that the election that happened, pretty much incident free. So that is good. And again, voter turnout was very low, reaching just over 11%. All right. And that's pretty much the information there so far. And just to share with you, the final counting based on information from the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, all right, will commence tomorrow, Tuesday, October 1st, at the designated confirmation that we have right now, all right, is the prelim results, all right? So we'll get the final update or the final counting will begin tomorrow. And as we know that Samuda is pretty much replacing former JLP MP Marsha Smith, all right, who resigned from this position. All right, let me just check in the chat here. Not seeing any new comments just yet in the chat. But again, feel free to give us a call or share your comments in the chat there. And I'm just trying to see what other information here is available. And I suspect based on what, is happening and that current and that context there in Northeastern and the expectation was for, Matthew Samuda to win. It doesn't come as a surprise to me, and especially given that the PNP they weren't contesting in this one. All right, so that for me too is an indication. But again, I suspect we'll see what happens in the coming few days. All right, what is going to happen in the context of the shift? All right, Sophia, welcome, welcome. And again, that's well, we were thinking that too. And why are you of that view? But when we look at the context of what happened, for example, in the recently held local government elections, where the voter turnout was very low, that too kind of let me say, okay, by election, in terms of the importance, perhaps a lot of citizens are not prioritizing that. But a big question, is there anyone here in the chat from Northeastern? And would love to hear from you, in terms of how things were before and I guess before today in terms of the voting and in terms of the results. So would love to hear from you. And let us see if we can get some clip here for you guys. So according to Nationwide News, they spoke to some JLP supporters on the ground during the by-election, all right? One supporter said the party is not working together. All right, so that's according to some supporters there in Northeast St. Anne. And I'm just going to try and let you hear this clip. Just give me a little moment here.
Teamwork. Labor right now. Them not do teamwork. Now Jay don't know teamwork. Labor right now. No, they don't. Oh my goodness. Let me blind, sir. Eh? Me blind? Oh, where you see it? Okay, me see it. They're not team members. They don't do the right thing. They're bunch of craps. But for Samuda though, him look like we can give him a try. I'm here from 5 in the morning. And honestly speaking, my fellow co-workers, they're not the great team. Some just sit down because from morning worker kill me. And I'm a runner and a driver. And we have a supervisor that is not interested in the job. She just there for there. But in a real life, Matthew, Matthew, may I give me a chance. Remember, I know Shiny come. Shiny do her part. We are give Matthew the chance to do his part. And with a great woman, you need a great man. So we are putting him in. But Mr. Matthew, this is Melissa speaking. When you come in, clean up the house will sweep out and rake out. Clean up the house, my boss. Samuda a great man, man. I just feel the energy about him for the first time I see him. I see me. The man if he night him, I see me real elder and him thing there is it. Yeah man. So me there from morning early morning. I give me son to I'm all the way there, I don't know.
All right. So based on, I guess, those supporters, and what they're saying is that pretty much there needs to be some unity in terms of the work there that needs to be done in the constituency of Northeast England. Obviously, as I shared, JLP supporters, but they are willing to support Matthew Samuda, but he needs to come in and do some work, according to one of the supporters, to clean up. And so, again, we'll see what happens, right? And so this might be a chance, like a political opportunity for the PNP to gain ground, depending on what is happening in the seat on the side of the JLP. Because when you think about that, people like good representation, and representation, matters. And so if it is that we're looking at it from that perspective, then I believe the PNP, they could gain some ground in this particular seat. I don't know what they're doing now in the context of the groundwork, but obviously, as the supporters there are sharing, Samuda needs to come in and do some work. All right, so, all right, that's pretty much the update there so far in that context. I'm just trying to see if we have anything in terms of an update from Matthew Samuda himself. So we're just checking for that. And as soon as we have that update, we'll definitely share with you. All right. So just to let you know that for sure. So again, if you're just tuning in, you perhaps you're seeing the numbers there on screen based on the prelim count. Matthew Samuda of the JLP, he has pretty much secured the win here with 4,838 votes. David Anderson, the independent candidate, 222 votes, and Chase Neal there of the UIC, 30 votes. So we're just sticking around to see if we will get an update from Samuda, but just to let you know that he is pretty much the winner, and also to emphasize that the results here are preliminary results according to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. They will begin the official count tomorrow, all right? The official counting that will begin tomorrow. And Max Morgan is saying, I wonder if those issues mentioned, hold on, I just need to access my chat here. Just give me a second, guys. I wonder if those issues mentioned by the supporters influenced the MP to resign. That's a good point. And remember, the MP, Marsha Smith, they were having a constituency, I believe, persons from the constituency not mistaken, that they protest as well in that regard. So, that's a part of the situation here, Prince. All right. And I suspect where that this unity, is coming from. Come on, likes up to 50 likes. Just close the X right now. What's I'm not seeing? Are you X over there? Come on, guys. Close the X and the thumbs up button. All right, that would be fantastic. So just close the X right now and hit that thumbs up button. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That would be fantastic. I'm not sure my chat just went again. Okay, it's back. So as you know, that Northeast St. Anne is pretty much JLP has dominated that seat. It doesn't mean that it cannot become unsafe. All right, and so that's important to note. All right, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this upcoming general election. So guys, we'll be here in terms of taking you through the updates in the context of this general election. So please remember to hit the subscription button and turn on your post notification, especially if this is your first time here. We are keen in terms of just sharing, just for you to understand and also learning from you too. So it's a two-way street here, all right? We don't come here and say, okay, we're the boss. We want to hear from you too, our community. So thanks again for being here. So please hit the subscription button and hit that like button and turn on your post notification. That is definitely important. So as we know, again, Samuda is the winner, and I'm just checking here to see if I can get some updates. All right, so just give me a moment. I am just here checking for some updates to see, what is available. And not seeing anything yet from Samuda. So we're just trying to wait to see if we get some updates from Samuda or the other candidates. So David Anderson Chase Neil. Okay. They say, well, someone is using Andrew Oles to say, good night, my fellow Jamaicans, home and abroad, respectfully. All right, good night to you. Welcome, welcome. All right, so again, if this is your first time here, welcome to this safe space. The voices we learn from each other. We do it in a respectful way. So we do not belittle anyone. We do not defame anyone. All right. We keep it real and respectful. We can definitely share our views without disrespecting or defaming anyone. So again, thank you so much for coming over. I'm just still here checking to find out is here. And by the way, the Prime Minister, from my understanding, based on what's out there in the media, is in India on, I believe, a 4-day visit in India at this point. So we're still here checking. I'm just checking here just to see what is available here. And so far, not a lot. And it just goes to show too the importance, of this fund. So I guess we'll get some more. But, just still waiting here. to just hear, if you get the opportunity to hear from Samuda. Guys, let me just check to see if I'm missing any calls here. I don't think so at this point, so I'm just checking here. So feel free to share in the chat, guys, and also give us a call. The WhatsApp number is pinned there. All right. TJ, welcome. I don't know if it's Andrew. If it's you, Mr. Prime Minister, give us a call. All right. Mass Morgan, okay, asking you guys to like up the live. She's doing a great job. Show some support. She deserves it. This is so informative. Thank you for sharing that in the chat there. And just hoping to hear from someone else via the WhatsApp call, all right, line there. Give us a call. Would love to hear your voice. It's Voices in Education, and we're happy to hear from you and to learn from you. All right, so again, welcome, guys. Welcome one, welcome all. Do not leave without hitting that subscription button and turning on your post notification. Person quiet in the chat. And again, just to share this assumption, if you're just tuning in, because there are some perspectives that the by-election, it didn't make any sense. So I was just sharing an assumption that I believe that the Prime Minister take this opportunity to make necessary shift or move in the context of the upper house, the Senate, so that they can facilitate the new finance minister, all right, when that Nigel leaves to take up his new job, all right? So just to share that information with you, all right? So just to let you know that there in that context. But then someone shared in the chat that because I was saying perhaps the new finance minister will be in the Senate, and someone was sharing in the chat that that is not possible. So I need to check on that too to see if that is possible. But I suspect even if that is not quite the case, then from the upper house to the lower house. So we'll see what happens. And I don't know if Mr. Samuda's background in finance. I don't know. Mr. Andrew, give us a call, man. Give us a call. Give us a call, Honorable PM. Since you're in the chat, I know you're not afraid to talk, so give us a call. All right, guys. So happy to have you here, just to see. The comments here in the chat. And Matt Morgan here is saying this seat could be close to the general election if JLP does not address the alleged issues. Oh, you're saying it could be close in the general election. And I guess it depends, but the parts based on what the supporters shared, I guess you can say the good part for the JLP is that they seem to want Mr. Samuda and have respect for Mr. Samuda and believe in Mr. Samuda. So that part is good. So if it is that Mr. Samuda, Matthew Samuda, is able to, I guess, reunite the constituency in that regard, then they should be able to move forward together, right? So that seems to be good. The good part for them is that despite the challenges, just based on what they shared, some of them, I guess, to have been there, as they said, early in the morning, from I think one said 5 o'clock. So despite those challenges, you see that for them with Samuda, they are seeing hope. All right. So that's a part of, I guess, the good part in that context. So I guess as the lead, they need to come and, I guess, clean up play nights and allow everyone to start together again. All right, Sandra, welcome. Welcome, Sandra. Happy to have you here and got you all the way there from Sandra. All right, so I'm just still doing some further checks here just to see, what else is available. So guys, we check and we try to get up there, but I can tell you that this particular election, right, is pretty much it's just quiet. Is there anyone here from Northeast St. Anne? Would love to hear from you. Paulina, welcome. All right, and Paulina said the JLP is up and running for St. Anne. All right, welcome, Paul. Have you guys here? Guys, please hit the like button. We're not yet at likes. And hit the subscription button and turn on your post notification because we're going to be here on the election watch just to share with you guys, and you don't want to miss that. All right, so subscribe and turn notification. And this looks like, is this our Canada Green? All right, she's sending big ups to Samud there. All right, so is there anyone here from Northeast St. Anne? Sandy, see your comment there. And all right, Canada is saying yes. And Sandy is saying yes up to the jail. All right, guys, so we're still here. And would love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to give us a call. Don't be afraid to give us a call. All right. You can definitely give us a call. Don't be afraid to give us a call. So would love to hear your views as long as you're being respectful and not defaming anybody. So we treat each other with respect over here so that we can maintain our safe space. All right. Some would have, he has a few months, I guess, for Northeast St. Anne in that context, based on what the supporters are sharing, and given the context that we should be expecting a general election in a little bit. So click now so that you can hear MP-elect Mattis takes the stage in Northeast St. Anne. Now I see why there isn't anyone here from Northeast St. Anne. Apparently, there's a celebration going on there in Northeast St. Anne. So let us just go to that bit, guys.
Welcome for the first time. We're going first time in this capacity as the new member of parliament. Mr. Samuda.
All right, guys. So lots of celebration there happening in Northeast St. Anne. So Desmond Mackenzie is there on the platform. I can see him introducing, MP-elect Matthew Samuda as, for the first time in that constituency. So I see that, he's there. I believe Juliet Oldness is there, and Matthew Samuda is celebrating, ringing the bell. Who else am I seeing here on stage? Just give me a moment here. I know Carencia is there. So it's just a celebration there happening there. And I suspect perhaps other members of the JLP, they are there as well. And persons are there celebrating in the crowd. All right, so just to let you know, I am not able to see like the size based on where the camera is focused at this point. But so far from what I am seeing, it looks packed. It looks packed in terms of the celebration. And I am wondering, perhaps not everyone went out to vote, but they are celebrating at this point. So that's what's happening there right now in Northeast St. Anne. The JLP, they are there and they are celebrating. Wilbert, welcome, welcome. And so again, you know, different views in the context of this by-election. So for some, an assumption is that it's a waste of money. And, as I shared my assumption in the context of it, it's the fact that they take the move pretty much of the finance minister. Other persons were wondering, why the PNP did not contest. We shared their views with the caller there who, shared, their perspective on that too. So we'll just see what else we have here in the context of updates before we wrap up this session. But so far, again, based on the information, you are perhaps seeing that number on screen, 4,838 votes out of the 43,827 persons who are eligible to vote there in Northeast St. Anne, based on the information here from the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. All right, so Matthew Samuda has been pretty much declared the winner based on the preliminary results. So I have to share that too with you. All right, so just to also share that the official counting will begin tomorrow, October 1st, 2024. All right, but so far, given the gap in terms of the numbers, if some ballots are rejected, I don't think the results are going to be any different in terms of who the winner is for this particular constituency, but we'll await the official count. And I suspect that perhaps they will do that tomorrow and wrap that up tomorrow as well. All right, so Morgan is saying Matthew deserves a chance. He has been loyal to the party. Well, I don't know about the loyalty part, and I'm not sure. I can't speak to that. I definitely can't speak to that because I don't have information regarding that. All right, so I cannot share on that. But if you're still here, please remember to close the chat, hit the thumbs up button, and also turn on your post notification, hit the subscription button, and turn on your post notification bell because we are here. This space, we do a lot of programs, so current affairs, sports, we learn from each other over various in various areas. So election is coming up. We're going to be on that. We're also trying to keep up with the schoolboy football, the Costa Cup and Manning Cup. So we do that here as well. So just stick and stay with us. And again, we're just a platform where we are building our base here and would love your support so that we can continue to grow stronger together as a community. All right, so would definitely appreciate you subscribing and becoming a part of the Voice in Education family. All right, so just checking here in terms of the chat, and it is still pretty quiet. And let me look if I'm missing any calls. So let me see who is going to call me. I need someone to call me. I'm just only, the song, I'm only one call away. Come on, I'm one call away. Or if you can't call, I'm just one message away in the chat here. So let me just hear from you guys. Even if you just want to call and say, you know what, I like the program or I like the vibe, we appreciate that too. All right, so we'd love to hear from you just before we wrap this one up. Again, we are always just checking to see if we're getting some more updates. But as always, if there are more updates that we haven't had the opportunity to share here with you, we'll definitely come back and update you. So you can always, look out for that from us in that context because we understand that, we're here and we want to keep you as informed as best as possible. All right, so let me just do some checks here, guys. I am just checking. We have to do the checks before we go. So just to let you know, we just have to, just check, and let you know what is happening. And we're still here. I'm just going through some quick, quick updates here regarding Samuda. All right, so we're still just checking here. All right, not seeing any new comments just yet. And let me just do further checks here. All right, nothing else here. I'm just checking, guys, before we close out, just to make sure that you are updated. And I suspect we're going to hear further from Matthew Samuda. So I was just waiting to hear, what his speech is going to sound like. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes to see if that will become available. But the last time we checked, based on the update that I shared, they were just partying, celebrating. I am just waiting to see what happens in that context. Would love to hear, what is presentation will be in the context of this win. So again, just about 11.6% of the registered voters exercised their right to vote in this by-election. All right, so just to let you know that there is a total of 43,827 registered voters there in Northeast St. Anne. All right, so just to put that there into context as well. But a win is a win, they say. All right, and the winner takes all. So Matthew Samuda has secured 4,838 votes, all right, following the preliminary count, all right, and again, the official count will begin tomorrow, October 1st, so we'll await that. And prior to this, a few hours ago, we had a clip there, I believe from Nationwide, where the Prime Minister was sharing Lily Robinson. She had endorsed Matthew Samuda to that particular seat there in Northeast St. Anne. So I guess just to share that context with you. All right, so just to let you know, and I'm just seeing a picture of Samuda and Shaini. So I guess Samuda got lots of support. Action and I guess was there, and I guess Juliet Oles. I'm not sure who else was there, but quite a few person Rhoda. So there was some support there in terms of going to support, Matthew Samuda. Karen Sia was there. So I guess there was some work. Cuthbert, Juliet Cuthbert was there. Looks like Fable Williams was there as well. So, and I guess, Cham was there. So support was there. All right. In that context. Let me just see if I can find this information here in terms so I can just show you officially from this website. Just give me a second here, guys. I'm just going to refresh this page to see if the results on the Electoral Commission's page is updated, and it is. And this is what I like, when we can see the results for ourselves, because there is so much power in just having certain knowledge for ourselves so that we can see. And as I shared earlier, I suspect that why we weren't seeing was because I came on, she wasn't updated. So now you can see here the preliminary 4,000. All right, for Matthew Samuda, hold on, let me just point here just to show you. 4,858 for Matt. All right, this is for the UIC candidate and 222 candidates. So the total was 5,090 votes are from the 827 voters. All right, want to vote. Peter Francis, welcome, and they're sharing their Matthew Samuda all the way.
It's definitely updated, all right, so that we can share this information with you.
This information with. All right, so let me just see if they have that. Just give me a second here. just stop this. See what else is available here. Guys, this information is also available to you. We all share this information. So if they have like a report, but they have the year that I was just on, and you can see the polling stations, the votes were cast at each state sectors on the list. So, for example, polling stations, there are several polling, I guess, PDs within the pool. All right. So, see here the number of persons on that PD and, the amount of votes. So that's pretty much how it works. So if at any point this information for yourself is also available there, you can do that if you're living in a particular area. It tells you, for the particular to vote based on the PD and how to these are, I guess, candidates in general with their, work in terms of persons on the voters list. It tells you, so it has here 6 pages, and on the last we find the total. There's the JLP in this column, so let me go up to show you then the UIC and the independent candidate there. So Marcus scroll down here with 4,008 votes. The UIC candidate, I believe that is Neil. Then here the independent candidate with 222 votes. All right, so understanding there as well. All right, Lucille, welcome. And Lucille here is saying, shower all labor rights, yes. And Matthew Samuda all the way. Everything green, Matthew Samuda all the way. You here, ensure that you hit the subscription button. All right, and turn on your post notification bell because we'll be here. We'll be here talking and sharing more as the election, in preparation for the general election. So it's available. And if I should go here, let's see if there's anything here available for the final word. So again, if you're just doing, all right, Matches Samuda, based on this information here from the electoral. And if we just want to go to this final page here, this is where the total is. And the JLP, Matches Samuda here. That's for Matches Samuda right here. The UIC candidate takes 30, and the independent David Anderson 200, and not seeing any new calls for phone. All right, the WhatsApp number is pinned in the chat, so I'm just going to check, and in a few minutes we're going to.
All right, before you go, please ensure that you subscribe.
Subscribe. notification. All right, that is definitely important so that any updates from this channel. All right, we really, really appreciate, your support here and for keeping this platform a safe one where we can share and learn from. Definitely appreciate that. And it just goes to show so much that we can share and learn from each other without the noise and the disrespect. All right, so happy to have you here. If you're just tuning in, do not leave without hitting the like button and the subscription button. That is definitely important. All right, so I'm just going to check to see. I am just waiting, or at least waiting to see if we can get some, information as in a speech or what Matthew Samuda's address will be there in Northeast St. Anne, but we're not yet, put our finger fingers on that just yet. So we're still here just checking as I speak to you, just to see, what is available for us. All right, but just not getting any updates. And as I shared earlier, Andrew Holness is not in Jamaica. All right, so Andrew Holness is in India. All right, with a Jamaican delegation on an official, on and all right. I believe Chris Gale is a part of the delegation. The Kamina Johnson Smith. I also believe that the information minister is there, Daniel, and as well with the prime minister. So he is not again, that's a part of the context of this election. It was more of, and again, an assumption with the shift that needs to happen to facilitate United Minister moving on into another position, right? And so, you know, they felt that at this point, the barrier out to test anything, but at the same time, too, they stand in terms of the
That shift with Nigel Clark. All right. So I felt that that was the situation. Just an assumption. All right. Nothing more than
more than so welcome us. We're growing again, guys. We need to get up to 50. All right. So what's happening in here? Am I missing? I'm not seeing any comments from a Mark in here. Perhaps the comment was removed. I don't know what's happening. What's happening there still? Not too sure. I'm looking. I'm not seeing a Mark it. Or maybe I missed that. But again, guys, keep it safe and respectful so we don't belittle anyone, we don't bash anyone over here. All right, we just talk and we understand that we're going to share different perspectives, and that is totally okay. Your varying perspectives are welcome. We just do it in a respectful way, all right, so that we can all thrive in this space where we can learn from each other or agree to disagree. But we do it respectfully so we don't diss or we don't belittle or we don't defame anyone, because that is definitely important. When you think about freedom of expression, it comes with some responsibility too. All right. So we just want to ensure that we are doing those things. All right. So again, if this is welcome, let me know in the chat. I'm going to do my roll call now. Roll call, roll call. So let me know where you're tuned in from. All right. So just drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Where in Jamaica you're tuned in from, or where in from, let us know in the chat. That would be fantastic. All right, so let me know where you're tuned in from. That would be good. Jermaine, welcome. Come on, guys, let me know where you're tuned in from. There's roll call now. Hit the subscription button. What are you waiting for? Roll call, guys. Let us see. Let us know where you're tuned in from. I have a family member from Canada and we are, you can stay tuned with interactive so that the Kingston there in Jamaica. Fantastic. Let's see who else is here. Roll call. Let us know where you're tuned in from. And guys, don't just hit the love button in terms of the reaction, but you have to actually close the chat and hit the thumbs up button. That's how it counts. All right. So just waiting to see in the context of roll call. It cannot be two persons right here, no more than two. Or perhaps you're watching from your TV. So if you're watching from your TV, I just want to say thank you for tuning in from your TV, but you can still like Inez, welcome, Wakefield, Buxton Town, Linstead, St. Catherine, all right? Big up Inez. And guys, we build the connection with our community members, right? So we try to do this. So we like to acknowledge you and to appreciate you, because we're creating this space where you are valued. You're a valuable member of this community. So we like to do this. And I know for some of you, it's your first time here, and that's okay. You can always come back to see if this is real. Is this how they really operate? But for sure, I based on what others have shared, they come once and they like it. All right. Peter is from Clarendon. Big up yourself. I'm a country girl too, Peter. Welcome, Peter. Happy to have Clarendon here represented. Wonderful. So I know we have more than four. Let's just wait for persons to share. So roll call, roll call. Where are you tuned in from? And let me just do some checks here just to see if we can get something from Matthew Samuda. That's what I've been really waiting for, just to hear, what he's going to say in this context. But let's keep going. Roll call, roll call. Who is here? All right. I guess we're not getting any further responses there in that context. But definitely happy to have you guys here for, this conversation. And I suspect that we're going to have many more conversations to come. All right. So I just want you guys to ensure that you have hit the subscription button and you have also turned on your post notification because that is going to be important so that you do not miss any updates once we go live. And I'm seeing that's Morgan, Jamaica, me born and grow. All right. I guess you're gonna sing busy. I love Jamaica, we not sell out. They try to clip my wings. Somehow we can fly out. I can't sing, guys, but I like music. And Jervin is from Portland. All right, big up Portland. All right, Jamaica love. I don't know the song, and I don't want to sing foolishness here. But you get the vibe, guys. You get the vibes. You get the vibe. All right. So that would be the song I would play right now. It's all Jamaica love. All right. Whether you're on the green side, the orange side, the independent side, it's all Jamaica love. Black, green, and gold. Jamaica land we love. All right. So we're here. Definitely here. And just doing our little roll call. Yeah. Jamaica love. We wanna feel Jamaica love. Everybody wanna visit Jamaica. I can't sing, guys, but you know the thing how it go. All right. So when we think about everything, it all comes back to Jamaica, where we want our representatives to have our best interests at heart in the context of allowing us to be our best selves in terms of providing the requisite opportunities, resources that are necessary for us, to make Jamaica a place where we can continue, right? For some of us who are still there, continue to live, work, and raise families. That is definitely important in terms of moving forward. And it is also important in terms of creating those opportunities, especially for persons who really need those opportunities, marginalized people. And so the next thing is that we need to hold our political representatives accountable in the context of what it is that they say they're going to do and how it is that they're going to do it in terms of timeline because you're really their bosses. We are their bosses when you look at it. So have the opportunity to fire them. So if they're not working, you can vote them out, right? And so again, that power rests with you, the people. All right. So guys, I am pretty much going to call it here for this evening. And again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in, for sharing. So if you have called, shared in the chat, we really appreciate, your perspectives and appreciate you also maintaining our safe space, our safe community. All right. So we definitely appreciate that for sure. All right. Ron, welcome. All right, Ron is sharing that this is way below the 10K votes that he said he was going to get. Who said that, Ron? Matthew? All right, so again, guys, happy to have you here and we're still there, begin up the PM and Samuda. All right, so we're definitely going to call it here for this evening. Let me just check one final time just to see if we're getting any updates from Matthew Samuda in terms of, you know, his statements. I would love to hear that, but perhaps that will be for tomorrow in that context. All right, so I'll definitely keep you guys posted, and we can always come back to, analyze, what that speech entails there if he and I suspect he'll be talking to the people there. We're just yet to get that, or that is yet to be shared. All right, in the media just yet. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. Andy, welcome. And I see your comment there, but for sure we can hold them accountable, Andy. We can definitely do that. And once if people understand the power that we have, collectively in terms of demanding certain changes, it's just because we don't understand that. And so when persons refuse to vote, for example, you're not exercising the power that you have, because if you're dissatisfied with a particular context, for example, in your constituency, you can register that via your vote, right? And so that is definitely important in terms of how we're viewing it. But because some of us, we become so diarted in the context of politics, and it's, for example, it's traditional that your entire house or your entire community votes along a particular color. When the color that you really want to vote for not working for you, before you go vote and register your dissatisfaction, you decide to you now vote, right? And so when you do not vote, you do not have a say, right? And so if it is that you're not voting, you don't have a say, and then the conversation too is that, all of them are the same thing. Well, any one of them you get, then you have to check, because you never decide to go vote, or find someone who you can support and rally around, because it's democracy, right? You can go and become an independent candidate and try to win a seat, all right? And this same true. Although, as you can see, third parties, they do not survive in the Caribbean. I'm yet to see a third party that has survived in the Caribbean, right? So for sure, there's lots that we can do as a people. We just need to understand, the situation, and understand that we have the power to demand certain changes, to demand certain things in the context of accountability. Listen, I'm just talking in general, all right? I'm just talking in general. Oh, you're referring to Andy, but I'm just saying, as a people, right? We can demand, we can demand some accountability from our representatives across every side. It doesn't matter which side. All right? And Sandy, welcome. We kind of explored that a little bit earlier, Sandy. I guess you're just tuning in, but in a nutshell, we're pretty much saying that really it's as a strategy. Perhaps the PMP decided not to utilize resources at this point, especially if they believe that they're not going to win the seat, which is a good move, I'll say. But in the other context of things, not giving the people a choice in the context of democracy, perhaps some persons will view that as, not good in that light. And also, if, I mean, based on what happened here today, then I guess PMP, they should not come and say, okay, they did whatever and that's the vote, because they could contest the seat. But the election is just a few months away in terms of constitutionally due. So I suspect, as we shared earlier, that even with the Prime Minister calling this election by election, it wasn't I don't think it was really what they needed, but it was just the opportunity, given that I believe they're going to do some shifting to facilitate, Nigel Clark moving forward into that new position. So I suspect that there's going to be some shifting just to get another finance minister. The thing that I am assuming here is that Matthew Samuda is going to be shifted from the upper house, and he will solely be in the lower house. So the upper house is the Senate, and he'll solely be in the lower house, which is the House of Representatives. All right. So again, that's an assumption from my perspective, but that's just it. Okay, listen, I see your comment there, and I appreciate that. So again, that's just an assumption based on what I see is happening. Because I mean, from even if you look at it from the JLP side, they wouldn't want to be pumping resources into a constituency at this point when they will have to do so in another few months, right? And so I felt that it was just necessary, given that Nigel Clark is going to move out. And so, they were given all that has been happening in that seat. Matthew Samuda was, I guess, positioned for that for the next general election, but it just so happened that now is the time and they had to do what they had to do. That's just an assumption, all right? Because otherwise, as some person shared in the chat, it's like a waste of money in terms of the turnout and, all that happened there in that context. So just wanted to share another perspective in that regard. All right, I see that we are growing back again in numbers, but I'm just going to check here. Roll call. Let me know where you're tuned in from, guys. We want to get the likes up to 50. That would be fantastic. And also ensure that you turn on your post notification. All right. Turn on your post notification, but you have to subscribe first. Turn on that post notification bell. And I suspect tomorrow, Matthew's speech or address to the people of Northeast St. Anne will be available for us, and we're just going to listen to that, dissect it, and we'll come back live at some point tomorrow for us to just listen to what he has to say, and hopefully I'll have my co-host with me so that we can do that and also hear from you, because as you see, this space is an interactive one, and I know some persons are just tuning in, so I just want to reiterate, just repeat that Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do not bash, we don't disrespect, we don't belittle, and we don't defame anyone. We understand that we share different perspectives, and that is totally okay. We understand too that there is so much richness in diversity. So you bring your little idea, somebody else bring their little idea, and together we can learn. Sometimes we'll have our own views, and that is fine, where you say, sure, we don't really want your, what a person I hold on to my view. But at least we give each person the opportunity, the space to share what they have to share. And it's okay for us to agree to disagree, but we just do it respectfully. So if, for example, Lucille should come back and say Andy, can I say hello, Andy, no matter which side we're on. All right. So that's the platform that we have here. And, I try to ensure that I remember the names. So that's the community that we have. So once you realize, if you're commenting in the chat, or if you're just coming in and you're just dropping a comment in the chat, we make sure that we try our best to acknowledge you and to let you feel welcome, so that you can feel the sense of belonging in this space. So I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. All right. And, blessings and love, everyone. Remember, in everything that you do, there might be persons who have different perspectives, as it relates to what should be done, how it should be done. But try to find, something in you that will definitely keep you grounded. Because sometimes we'll have, the noise around us that can confuse us. So as a person, as an individual, you need to find something that can ground you. All right. And in everything that you do, ensure that God is in the midst of it. They say with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. And I say too, in terms of encouraging you, today for me, tomorrow for you. All right. So we can all support each other. We can be happy for each other's success. it doesn't take away from what God has in store for you. All right. So we'll definitely talk again. And Lucille, you're asking about the top. So we're talking about the election results and your views on that. All right. So that's pretty much that in terms of the conversation. But I am not seeing any further comments, Lucille, and I'm not receiving any phone calls. So we're just going to wrap it up. And sometimes when I'm wrapping up the conversation, I just leave, some encouraging words with you as community members. So thank you so much. All right. So again, that's it here in the context of the by-election results there in Northeast St. Anne. And just to close out by saying Samuda has won based on the preliminary count. All right, 4,838 votes when compared to 30 for the UIC candidate Chase Neal and 222 votes for the independent candidate David Anderson. All right, so again, I just want to also emphasize that the official count will begin tomorrow, October 1st. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next live. Before you leave, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. And of course, please turn on your post notifications. So tap the bell and select all so that you do not miss any updates from this channel. I suspect that we'll be here tomorrow evening or sometime tomorrow to give you an update regarding Samuda. All right, good night to you, Andy, and also to you, Lucille. And by the way, Lucille, okay, love you all. Oh, definitely. So it's all good. Blessings and love, everyone. And again, do not leave without hitting that subscription button and tell somebody else about this channel. We'll be on this election watch until the big day, whenever that is called, the general election. So what I'm going to do right now is just to play some music here just to sign out. And right now you should be seeing the candidates there on screen. So you should be seeing them there. All right. Again, the winner for this by-election there in Northeast St. Anne, based on the preliminary results, is Samuda of the Jamaica Labour Party. Blessings and love, everyone, and I'll see you in the next live. Bye for now.